Facebook and the Therapy Flow community. We're happy to be back again, sort of kicking off the month, but ending the week here. And today we wanted to really drill into a thing that we see this week, we see in general when we talk to, the hundreds of counselors we do on a monthly basis. And we want you to know this, to have this in your back pocket, and to understand the number one truth that keeps most counselors' marketing from being successful or as successful as they want it to be, right? The difference between you and having your dream practice, you and having the business that you want, it starts a lot of times with marketing, which we talk a lot about here. And there's a common failure point, right? There's a common piece of knowledge that if you just know this thing, the likelihood of your success is that much higher. So without further ado, let's dig into it.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to come out swinging and say, um, when you decide on a strategy, there's a certain set of activities that follow. There is no passive way, at least immediately, to find success, especially in your marketing, especially in your sales, especially in your practice. There is no like mail it in, easy mode, set and forget thing. And every strategy has a set of activities that need to be done, and you need to recognize the set of activities that need to be done in order for that strategy to be successful. Okay? I bring this up because I think so many people like sign up for something. They're like, I'm going to do social media, right? But they don't actually understand the set of activities required, consistently required, in order to get results from the platform. Same with like ads. Guys, there's like sets of activities that you have to do to make the platform perform. There is no like mail it in for a platform, and certainly if you're new, you don't know how to get results for it quickly. It requires extra work. It requires extra work. Josh, I'll kind of let you touch on it.
Yeah, I want to use the analogy, the old school analogy of pumping a well, right? You walk up to the well and you've got the well pump, and the more you pump, it slowly draws water to the surface, right? Your marketing or your activities are the same thing. You're trying to draw inquiries, you're trying to draw success, you're trying to draw a result out by doing something, paying for something, whatever it is, right? But we all know if we do like 2 or 3 or 4 pumps and we just stop, one, the well could be dry. But in this scenario, we know the well isn't, and we just didn't pump long enough. But when we stop pumping and we wait a few seconds, then we go back to the table and we do 3 or 4 pumps, and then we stop and 3 or 4 pumps, right? We're never going to get the water because it takes 8, 9, 10, 20 pumps, whatever it is on that well, to finally get a little bit of water, much less continuing to pump it long enough to get enough to fill our bucket, right? Any marketing activity that you choose has the equivalent of the well example, right? You have to invest a minimum amount of effort, a minimum amount of volume, activity, money, whatever it is, in order for you to eventually get something back from it. And the number one truth that you need to know or you need to walk into when you start a new marketing activity is consistency, volume, or pumping the well in the way that the well wants to be pumped is what actually makes that marketing thing be successful.
I'm gonna use the well example. Everyone's well looks different. Everyone's well's depth is different, and everyone's method to pump the well is different. So I hope that that's not discouraging to you. All that means is that you need to go out there and figure out, well, how do I need to push the buttons on my well? What are the actions that I have to do? I'm going to make a really explicit example for advertisement, specifically like Facebook and Instagram ads. There's activities that you have to do for Facebook and Instagram ads. The activities are you are committing to creating media. You're creating to messing around with your offers. You're committing to tweaking your copy. You're committing to presenting yourself differently on a consistent basis until you find something that works well. And so that means that you can't just like you can't do one pump or 2 or 3 pumps back to back and expect all the water to start gushing out. You have to get it going. You have to really, really put in the effort, put in the time and energy to make it happen. Same thing with something like Google Ads. There's a set of keywords that you have to dial in. There's a set of information that Google has to collect from you in order to optimize itself effectively. You have to pump in, and the pumps in this case, guys, are time, energy, activities, resources, aka money. Occasionally, like I'll give another explicit example, social media. We find that the therapists that are finding great success on social media are posting 5 times a day. Guys, 5 times a day. If you're pumping once a day, and then you're going back and you're saying, okay, that was good enough for today, or man, that was exhausting. It's like, I get it. Sometimes social media can be exhausting. But if you want to actually get water from your well, you have to pump it 5 times a day or more, you know? And so if you're looking at the activities, or if you're looking at a strategy and you're saying, great, I understand my strategy. I want to deploy this strategy. Make sure you have your set of activities listed out, or you know what activities actually have to happen in order for you to affect change on that system. And certainly there's like an activity, like a yield for activity, but there's also like, what are the things that you are committing to by deploying a strategy?
Yeah. I think with that, you know, as we keep this short and straight today, asking yourself the question of what Attilio just described, what does it take to make this strategy successful, right? What does it take to have great Google Ads, or just minimum viability Google Ads? What does it take to be successful on social media, right? And if you don't have a halfway decent answer to that question, it means you're just kind of like shooting in the dark. You're pumping, and when you get tired, when you think you should have a result and you don't, is when you stop. But the problem is if you'd done a little bit of research or a little bit of planning, or you had acquired a little bit of knowledge, you would have known 4 pumps or 1 post a day was never going to get the result that you wanted from it, right? You're never going to have that outcome that you needed from it because you didn't approach the well with the right truth, with the right understanding of what does it usually take, right? Most people say it usually takes somewhere between 12 months and 3 years to make a living off of social media posting. That's the statistical analysis, much less the individual actions of how to show up in that marketplace. So my encouragement to you guys is to know the truth that consistent action, right, at the volume that the opportunity needs is what creates marketing success.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add there, guys. Look at, if you're not doing anything for your things, that means probably something is wrong. If you're not finding success and you're not doing anything, something is wrong with your behavior. Something is wrong with what you're doing. So just be critical on yourself. Josh, that was a great question to ask. So if you're taking a look at this on the replay or something like that, ask yourself the question and go from there, guys. You're going to find success. Just keep pumping that well. Eventually, there's going to be one of the days where the well kind of pumps itself. But if you're not finding success, it's not today. That means we got to figure out how to pump it better.
And I have one last thought to end this all off on. You have to keep pumping the well because we use the water to nurture ourselves. Meaning, if you don't have rhythms and habits to always go back and pump more water of the well, we're going to run out of water and we're going to be like, where's all of our water? Where's all of our referrals? Where's all of our leads? And maybe that's your problem. You pump the well enough when you do pump the well, but you don't pump the well often enough. So you run out of water and then you're just totally famished by the time you get back to it.
Great point.
Well,
see you guys on the